This is a joint protection of persons or property subcommittee council meeting Wednesday, November 1st, 6 p.m. in the Veterans Council Room. Just want to remind everybody that this is being recorded, both video and audio. I also want to read the items listed which may be discussed at the meeting are those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Not all items listed may, in fact, be discussed, and other items may not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. Roll call. Joe Dow, Ariel Ortiz, Citizen Member Derek Julian, Citizen Member Roland LaRochelle,
Here.
and Chair Shenya, and Councilor Marquetti will be stepping in.
Present.
Agenda item number 1 is to consider and accept EP subcommittee minutes of September 19th. Any adjustments to it? All those in favor?
So moved.
I'll
Do
abstain.
we have a second? Yeah, I'm gonna second
Yeah.
it.
I'll second it, but I'll abstain.
And you said you're gonna abstain?
I will abstain.
Okay.
I don't even have the minutes.
Oh, I guess I'm here.
That's all right.
I'll
I'll
let
take
you
a
have it.
look at it real quick, probably afterward.
Agenda item 4, review and discuss police department transfer of $7,500 from account number 001210511000 salary and wages to account number 001210524200 data processing to cover the additional cost for the storage of body-worn camera data and annual device license and support fee, and entertain a motion to recommend the council to approve the transfer.
So move.
Second.
Discussion, chief.
Yeah, if I could, Mr. Chair, quickly, the initial installment when we started doing the body cameras in the summer months, we got a grant, $55,780 to set up that program and put it on its feet. We also have another grant now, just got approved for $25,000 additional dollars from the state for body cameras, for additional parts, docking stations, things like that. The issue is all these grants that we're getting from the state government and federal government, none of them cover annual device, any of the licensing fees. Anything that is on a yearly basis, they will not cover. There isn't a grant around. So what happened over the summer was, when we put this all together, we weren't sure how much data we were going to be using because we never had a program before. So after we've been using it for a couple months now, we got put into an annual, or we're trying to get put into an annual, it's like an evidence library storage fee. That's what Motorola is going to charge us for about the approximate amount of data that we're going to be using based on our use over the last couple months. We kind of prorated it over the whole year. So during the budget season coming in, December, January, February months when we're talking, I'll be talking about annual fees again. But as of right now, this is what we would need to get us through to the end to May of 2024.
Any questions? Mike?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I was going to ask how long you've been wearing these, because it seemed to me that you hadn't started wearing them until sometime in the summer. So this is based on a year, but they want the money now,
Yes.
rather than at the end of the year?
Yeah. And if I could, through you, Mr. Chair, yeah, it is a strange thing, and again, it's new to me. It's no secret we never had body cameras before. So we took and we worked with Motorola on what we've used over like a 30-day period. Summer months are historically very busy, so we're hoping that it's not as busy. We don't need as much data in the winter, but I can't predict it. So by the time we meet again and talk about body cameras again and annual fees, I'll have more data to use, 6-7 months of data at that time, and I'll be able to prorate it and put it into the budget for next year, so I don't have to do this again.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor? 3-0. 3-0. Chief?
Thank you. I'll step over here. Did you actually add this, Paul? Want me to wait for that?
I'm done with it.
Well, I kind of.
You'll be okay with it then? Thank you.
Okay. Agenda item number 5, review and discuss surplus of fire department 2010 E350 ambulance, medic 1, that was replaced with delivery of a new Medic 1 in August of '23. The vehicle will be set for auction, trade, and scrap, and allow the town manager to sign all related documents. Entertain a motion to recommend to town council for approval. I hear it.
So move.
Second.
Okay, discussion, chief.
So thank you very much to the chair, to the rest of the members. This is a vehicle that we just took out of service. I'll go back, a couple of years now. We ordered through council, with the help of Begdean through the USDA, partial payment using USDA funds to buy an ambulance. The remaining funds came from free cash, certified free cash. We received the ambulance in August, put on the road in the end of August. Now we have this vehicle sitting down at the DPW, ready to be either salvaged or sold or, currently the mileage on it is 108,000. It has 7,102 hours. This ambulance is pretty tired. And Mr. Larishall over here said he actually did calls on this, so it's really old. But anyways, that's kind of it. I would like to,
Because you're jealous.
yeah, he's retired. So obviously, this is the request to do the surplus, and I do probably have someone that's interested in purchasing this vehicle. Prices to be unknown right at this point, but I'm hoping to get over $10,000 for it.
Any other questions? Town manager?
Yes, so you know, once it's declared it's surplus from the council, then we would go about doing the proper procedures through Chapter 30B, which I just covered in class today on this. And we'll probably, given the fact that the chief does have some interest in it, we probably go out and seek some bids and then use that as the process. And then if there's no bids or just one bids, afterwards we could negotiate the best price. So we would go through the process,
You and the chief's gonna determine that.
once it's declared surplus.
Right.
And I know there's other equipment in town, but given the fact that this one's pretty easy to
Right.
dispose of at this time, we'll do this one and then look through all the other surplus equipment on that.
Any other questions, Mike?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, through you. It seems to me that the ambulance really wasn't in that bad a shape, so we should be able to get a pretty good bid on that, don't you think?
So the market price right now, we've called around, obviously, because I do my due diligence. We called a couple of vendors across the country, because there's not a lot of people use them around here. Different manufacturers use these used vehicles for different things. The highest we got was about 16,000. The lowest we got was 4,000. So that's about as high. We'll probably get. That's why I used the number of $10,000
Okay.
to give you a rough idea.
Used vehicles are a premium these days.
Yeah.
So
Not something.
I don't know
like that.
about ambulances.
It's not.
Not so much specialty vehicles.
No.
But that's why we would do the bid process. And the bid process and the goal, according to the OIG's office this morning, was the town wants to get the best dollar and recoup the money back to
So you
the
could-
community.
You can do a bid or 3 quotes, whatever like that, either way.
We set it out when we say we have this vehicle available,
Okay,
you submit a bid, and then we get the bids in.
okay.
And then there's also a process that if nobody submits bids, then we can reach out if he had somebody that said, hey, I express interest in it. The goal is to get the most dollars for salvage value that you can for a town.
Any other questions?
Thanks.
All those in favor? Opposed? And 3-0.
Mr. Chairman, just a quick question, if I missed, I was talking. Where does the money go after the auction? Would it be free cash?
And it goes back to the general fund, yeah,
General
and
fund,
then
okay.
it'll go back to free cash. And then there was a question that somebody asked, and the chief and I had this conversation today, and then we would have to talk to, our finance people, the possibility of dedicating to a special fund saved for
I
future,
would like to see it
future,
go to capital.
or
That's
to
what-
capital,
yeah, something like that.
or capital for future ambulance or something like that, and establish it that way. But, yeah. But they said that's all on the local level, not on something that they would do.
Okay, so that was 3-0. Agenda item number 6, review and discuss the ambulance certified public expenditure reimbursement program known as CPE FY23 report, and entertain a motion to recommend that town council accept the approximate reimbursement in the amount of $184,015.80 and allow town manager to sign all related documents. I hear a motion.
So move.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Chief?
So again, this is my 10th year of putting this grant reimbursement together for the ambulance service. This has been completed. It's gone back to the organization that organizes these and puts these grants together. At this time, it's gone back to them as a desk review. So after the desk review, they'll probably come back to me in probably late December, beginning of January with some questions about the data that I put into the system. But generally, this is the rough. Usually there's no changes in the numbers. It's usually justification of line items and things like that. But right now, as we currently sit, the right number here. The approximate reimbursement amount of $184,015.80. That could go up or down. Years past, they've actually thrown some extra money in there for any purpose of like COVID. They've actually threw some extra money in there for COVID, $10,000 last year. Last year's reimbursement was $199,000. So this program is very lucrative for us. And obviously I need the support from the town manager and you guys in the council to move forward.
What's the administrative fee that they talk about?
The company that does the desk review and orchestrates
Okay.
the whole project, they get 10%. Everybody gets 10%.
Councilman Petty?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, through you. That was my question. Do you need this PCG Health to do this program? It's not just something that Medicare and Medicaid just gives to the departments. You have to go through this agency.
Through the chair, Medicaid and Medicare has contracted with PCG Health to run this program.
Okay. And it says here, the reimbursement generally gets sent to us in June 2023, and it's now November, so is it just that, is this a typo, or is it just a late getting to us?
Reimbursement generally. So we already got the June 23 one. That was the 199,000. So that's a
Oh.
typo. It should be June of 24. I apologize on the
Thank you.
memo.
Yep.
Any other questions?
No, I'm good, thanks.
You want this?
Sure.
I just want to say that
No, I
chief,
have that.
the chief spends a lot of time putting this together.
Oh, yeah.
So, and there's
Holiday.
a lot of departments that may not even pursue this, so it's well worth it.
Any other questions?
Well, this is just a grant above and beyond everything else.
It's just a
All right.
reimbursement.
So it's,
It's a reimbursement. They don't call it a grant. It's a reimbursement program.
but I mean, this is more than what the town has recovered on fees.
Yes.
So this is above and beyond that, so this is an extra income, which we would be foolish not to accept. No money's free, but keep it west of 128.
And again, does this money go back to the general fund, or does it goes,
And it goes back to the general fund,
Yes.
so then council will determine from there, or once the budgets are done in there?
I mean, yeah, I think the last year when we looked at it and we added the 4 firefighters, you look at, by getting this reimbursement program, by the increased ambulance fees, that's what has funded the additional 4 firefighters. You know,
Right.
and that's the justification for it, so. So it does help to support that increased manpower.
Yeah, because that increase in manpower has paid for itself more than that money because of overtime costs, and there's none hardly anymore.
So I can tell you after doing the final year statistics and what it costs for us, what the town manager has said, I almost said the chairman of the council, sorry. Town manager has said is obviously the growth in revenue that we receive just from the increase in call volume has already paid for those 4 firefighters. This is additional.
Good. Nice. Anything else? All those in favor? Opposed? None? All right, agenda item number 7, review and discuss the memorandum of understanding between the town of Southbridge and Kirk Jackson for the town of Southbridge Public Safety Community Systems, and allow the town manager to sign all related documents. Entertain a motion to recommend to town council for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, chief?
All right, I'll try to keep this as short as possible. Obviously, we have a tower that's out on Blackmere Road. This is where our radio, police and fire radio system it's one of the pieces of our system. The main system is at Elm Street on the tower behind the fire station. This This is a privately owned tower on Blackmare Road. While there was upgrades out there recently done on the radio systems, obviously we got money through opera to do upgrades. It was mentioned to the owner that when we were up there, actually my radio guys were up there, and the owner happened to mention that the MOUs has expired. Ongoing or continuous negotiations between the landowner, the property owner, the tower owner. We came up with a new MOU. I think this is a little bit more professional looking. Obviously, you see I gave you the old MOU. It really just took the language that was on that memorandum of understanding and kind of put it into new wording for this new one to be signed. The landowner has asked for an increase in rental fee. I totally get it. It's all electrical services is up, maintenance for the property is everything is up. The $600 a year was peanuts back in the day. To give you a little bit of comparison, even $5,000 may sound a lot. I can tell you that Charter Communications site right next door to us, they would be in the close to $30,000 to $50,000 for rentals for a year. So this is really a bargain. Our equipment's already on there. I don't think at any point he's going to say, take all your equipment off if we can't come to an agreement or sign the MOU. I think we'll have to negotiate a little bit more, but I think this is a strong little package, and I'd like to move this forward. And I know Town Manager may have some information on it too.
Yeah, so Chief had come to me with this, and I remember back, if you remember, a couple of years ago, we had to pay a chunk of money because he hadn't billed us in a while. The costs are substantial. When we looked at this, then the question came, where is the money going to come from? Where can we, to pay for this? Obviously, the police and fire have been splitting that cost. We then what that prompted us is to look at the tower that's next to the fire station and the lease agreements that are there. So we're looking at those lease agreements and trying to confirm with Crown Castle, who is holds the lease for the towers. They then sublet 4 additional sites up there that bring revenue to the town. So there was 2 that were there all the time, and they brought 2 more on. So those are 2 more additional revenues. So Crown Castle is now making sure that, and we're making sure, and we've been in constant communication with them, to make sure that we are being properly paid for those tower licensing sites. So the revenue that we're gonna get from that tower, just from one of the new sites it would pay for this probably for the whole year, actually.
Yeah.
So, for the whole 10-year term.
And that tower works in sync with the school and the one that's gonna go into existence at the police station?
Yes, everything all works together.
Okay.
This Blackmare one is the one that actually links right to the school. It sees the school right from point A to point B, and then it bounces it back from this tower to the fire station with the main hubs.
So it's almost.
It's a
necessity,
critical
Critical.
piece.
We just spent a lot of money upgrading the school radio system there. Well, putting in a radio system for public safety at the school. So this is this tower that we're talking about tonight is the main link to get it back to town.
Mike?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, through you. Communication's important, and you did kind of answer the question. I was curious as to why we need to put it on that tower and why we couldn't use a tower right here in town. And it seems to me, just maybe a short summary of we spent a lot of money in ARPA for upgrading the system at the high school. We spent capital money last year on a tower at the police station. So my question is just why we aren't putting it right here in town.
And we could get a radio expert in here, but everything's line of sight.
Right.
So when you have hills and everything, so that tower is critical to get the direct sight. So a tower here is not going to work as effectively
At the
for
high
that-
school?
At the high school, correct.
Because it seems to me, I know where this tower is, I looked it up on the map. It seems to me the police department is closer to the high school than that.
It depends on
Line of
hills,
There's a hill
buildings.
line.
Police station's in the flat.
Yeah.
Right, it doesn't see over the hill to the
I
school.
get it. All right.
So it's like you go into
Like
the hospital,
Denison
correct?
We have a site at the
So
hospital.
the
also.
hospital leads for that area of town, and again, that's line of sight,
Yep.
pretty much. So it goes to the hospital. Do you go on the top of Denison Drive?
No.
So and that hospital one takes care of like Brecknick Road and all those areas that were dead.
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions?
No,
I'll bring the radio guy in if you want.
no.
It's gotta be line of sight, and that Black Mare site is the highest, believe it or not, it's the highest site. It's even higher than the hospital,
Oh,
so.
believe me, I know communication's important, so.
Yeah, okay, thank
Well,
you.
it's like cell towers. Cell towers are line of
The hills
sight.
are the problem,
Right.
All
in
right,
the holes.
Anything else?
no, I'm good.
All those in favor? Opposed? None?
Before we adjourn,
I'm not
Council
gonna,
Marquetti,
I got something
Council
else.
Marquetti, you're all set with your questions because the chief cannot be there on Monday night?
yeah, I'm also.
Thank you.
I have something else, that's why I read the bottom about
I
anticipated.
saw you look over there.
The police chief, and the fire chief, they were given a donation tonight by the Italian Club. And he's asking that I put this on the agenda, and that's why I read the part about not listed, and I would,
Was not reasonably anticipated.
right, wasn't anticipated till tonight. So, I'll read it, and then we'll accept the motion. The Southbridge Fire and Police Department tonight both received separate donations from the Southbridge Italian Club. The Italian Club has made an annual donation to each department over many years. The Chief Woodson and I would like to get this approved and accepted through PPP Subcommittee, and at the next town council meeting, the donation will be used by police and fire chiefs at their discretion for their departments. Entertain a motion to,
I make a motion that we add this item as agenda 7A.
okay? Discussion.
Do you have a second?
I did.
Yes, Mike did second.
Yeah.
So soft spoken.
How much is the,
$500
For
each.
Each.
500 each.
So it's a vote to accept the donation.
And if
I
this
was
is,
just gonna get the, I'll get the right
if this is
verbiage.
approved, you'll get the right verbiage for the, all right. The letter is pretty well self-explanatory, and any other questions? Owen? All those in favor? 3-0. Mike, you had something?
the only thing is that, looking at the town's website, I don't see any minutes for this committee, so I don't know what's going on, but it'd be a good idea if we got the minutes updated.
All my minutes
Yeah, I agree with
have
that.
been submitted to the town manager's office prior to Jack. Jack, I think, only had 1 or 2.
Yeah,
And Roland sends them, so I don't know where they go from their office.
yeah, so I had a conversation with the town clerk about whether their office is the ones that are responsible for posting
Yeah.
the minutes, and she stated that they were not, it's each individual. So we'll be working with Matt,
All right.
and Gail, I'll be working with them to
They're
get
done.
Because
the subcommittee
Just have to be
minutes
uploaded.
up, because I also looked at the fire station building committee minutes, those are all been done. They're not on the website, so we'll be working to try to get
Yeah,
those
so
up.
with me, like, tonight I'll give this to Jack for his, everything that's been approved, and
Yeah, if you could email the minutes to Matt, that would be great.
I'll give it to you tomorrow. If you wanna take, oh, you're not going into,
No, I'm not.
I'll come in tomorrow and show and what's what.
Yeah.
So, all those in favor of accepting the donation, we did that, okay,
We did
motion
that.
to adjourn.
So moved.
Did we vote on that? donation?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
second,
All those in favor, 3-0, okay, you're done.
Thank you.
meeting adjourned.